Yeah, we do want to get back to Ira Cronin, who's out on the scene this morning, because Mayor Suthers also happens to be there this morning, and he is talking with Ira Cronin. So, Ira, what is Mayor Suthers' thoughts about this? I'm sure it's hard to comprehend and wrap his mind around all of it, just like it is for many of us.
Yeah, certainly. I got to imagine, Mayor, that when you get this kind of phone call, and certainly this has happened before, this is the worst news you can get.
It is. My phone rang about 1 o'clock yesterday morning, and typically those are not good news. I've been, district attorney and a lot of roles, and those late night phone calls are pretty tough. And when the chief told me what we were dealing with, I was really sickened by it, because we've been through this before, and we have to, my job today and yesterday is to make sure that the acts of one single person, regardless of their motivations, doesn't define our community. 500,000 people, one of the most beautiful cities in this country. We just have to work very hard, and the community is responding. You've seen them showing up at vigils. I think there's going to be a lot of financial support for these victims, but it's something that we have to be very resilient and send a message to the rest of the country. This is not us.
Yeah, and I think the focus by this community on the victims, and we saw that in, even the comments from, CSPD and everybody else, like, we are a diverse community and everyone is welcome in this community, and it seems like that's been such an important part of the city's response.
Yeah, and this was a very well-run club. They've been here for 21 years. The police tell me there's been incredibly few calls for service. I met the folks who own the club yesterday, and these are people who've really done a good job of running a very good club for many, many years.
Yeah. Finally, before I let you go, you mentioned you've had many roles. You know the inner workings of these things. There's always that fine line of balance between information that the community wants. They're asking us for the information. They're craving information about the suspect. But there's a balance to preserve the investigation and the case when it goes to trial.
There's that, and then, unfortunately, and I think you'll learn a little bit more about this in the next couple of days, we've had some changes in Colorado law that are very frustrating to me, and I think we'll learn, there's been a lot of discussion about any prior criminal history, and frankly, today it's Colorado law that prevents us from making any comments about that. And I think we'll see probably the district attorney go to court today and maybe take some actions that will allow us to be a little more definitive. But I've already told the governor, because this is a law that was passed about 3 years ago, and this is a perfect example why I was very critical of it when it was passed.
Yeah. Well, we know that certainly the search for justice isn't going to be held up by that. There's a lot going on that can't be talked about, but we'll look forward to seeing you later at the press conference. Thank you for your time.
Take
Mayor
care.
Suthers. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right. And the mayor was just talking about that community support and the vigils, and that's something Devin Karp is also out here live at Club King talking about. Let's get over to him. Devin?